It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
In the quiet of my room, I read the light. Words on pages like stars in the night. Each sentence a beacon.
Good morning and happy Tuesday to all you beautiful people. Welcome to another episode on Fight Depression with Knowledge. I believe this is episode 3. It's going to be a continuation, part 2 of the Who Am I? I just want to go over, I'm almost done with the background of myself a bit here, and so I could start leading on and getting into the real topics. But I wanted to pick back up here with my wife and I's story. I think it's an incredible story. I really do. It's like that, the saying that, when you stop looking for love, it'll find you. That's kind of how I felt. And, the week she came down to visit in Florida kind of definitely changed my life for the good. So we'll pick back up. My family moved to the Four Corners area right next to Disney World, Lower Winter Garden. So, great area for tourism, all that stuff. Tons of shops, tons of stuff to do. However, traffic very heavy. Anybody familiar with that area knows exactly what I'm talking about. And that's okay, though. Still a lot of fun. You just got to pack your patience on any given day. So we move away. We remain in contact, of course, with JC, my best friend, and Rachel, his sister. Her and I are good friends, still. We were, keeping in touch, whatever. I had Snapchat at the time, so, posting stories, I used it a lot. Whatever, her and I would remain in touch. So fast forward a couple months there into when we're actually already gone. She had reached out to take a trip down to Florida and kind of see if, we were serious about, letting them come to stay if they ever wanted to. So of course, we were, and, I was willing to, let her come down. I'll clean up my room all nice, and, she could stay in the room. I'll go stay in the living room, all that good stuff, right? All the gentleman stuff. Because you got to remember at this time, like, we're really just friends, and I didn't think anything much into it, to be honest with you. She comes down. I remember to this day, I was talking to my cousin, like the day prior to her flying in, and I told him, I was like, my cousin Damien, by the way, shout out Damien. I told him I didn't really know what was going on. Like, I was like, I don't know why she's coming down here. Maybe, I was very conflicted, like it felt like something was brewing that I didn't know of, little did I know, same thing was going on her end. But that's all, that's why she came down for a week, and that we spent the first week that she was down here just trying to figure out what the heck was going on, and making note of, her brother's my best friend, and she still lived in New York, so obviously we can't do this, so let's just, hey, let's just make sure she has a good trip, Well, by Wednesday, day 3, I guess you could say, we go to SeaWorld as friends, and we have an amazing time, and the rest is history. I like to look at it as, that week, I kind of fell in love. I know it sounds cheesy, it sounds cliche. Um, However, it's funny because she'll tell the story, and like it was like that was my week, but she has a different week, and it's months later when I go and visit New York. And at this time, her and I were dealing with the long distance thing, kind of coming to realization like, hey, this is harder than it looks, and who's moving where, like we don't really know, so it's stressful. And you know, she had planned to move down with me in Florida, and then was getting like second thoughts, and it ended. It was gonna end kind of bad, We went through a little bit of a rough patch there. So I went up to New York for a friend's birthday at this time. Not even really for her per se, and I spent about a week, maybe a little longer. I don't really fully remember. Went to her her grandfather's birthday party. Rest his soul. One of the sweetest men that I've ever met in my life. Sweetest souls, I guess you could say, that I've ever met in my life. One of my best memories is I came over to his house one time, and he was so eager and wanted to get me a beer from the fridge and do it himself, and it was the sweetest thing. It was amazing. But regardless, she likes to point that as one of my week up in New York is the week things changed for her. So it's kind of cool because, 2 different weeks, 2 different experiences, and we had to get through a lot to even get there. So I was the type of person that for a while there, I was looking for love out at the bar, like a silly goose, I was a hopeless romantic, So I would be out searching for it, never to find it, right? So, it came and found me. I like to think when I stopped looking and kind of moved away from everything and everyone that I knew up to that point. Had to build anew in Florida, and it's not easy. Starting again in late 20s. After a party lifestyle. College years and all that stuff. It's not easy. So there's so much more that goes into hers and I's story, and I'll cover that more, I think, because I like to just, her birthday fits right into my family's birthdays in March. She's March 18th. My mom's March 19th. My niece is March 20th. We just found out that her brother and my aunt share the same birthday, but then my brother and her aunt share the same birthday. So it's just, we truly believe that, in the whole soulmate thing and being tied, together. I love her very much. And, it's my best friend. But I digress a little bit on that because, our story can go into so much more detail. And I think I like to focus maybe an episode or something on that and just be able to give you guys like the whole picture if you even want it. So for now, we'll go and dive into, so I moved back down to Florida, right, at that time. Her and I pick up. I end up moving to New York for a year. I left my family, moved up there with her. So that's how everything went, landed. So we started our life, lived in somebody's house, and kind of rented a room from them, and they play a large role on how thankful I am today. Great people. Shout out to Savannah, Mark, and Beverly. Amazing people, and just really opened up their. There's some background to it, of course, from Rachel and her dad already staying there and stuff, but opened their home to me and allowed me to stay up in New York for about a year before Rachel and I decided to road trip down to Florida and start our life down there. So that's kind of where, we spent a short stint up in New York together, and, we're ready to start our lives together. Went down to Florida. Her and I got married. We're bouncing around apartment, living with family. Well, we finally got our house, finally are planting our roots, and things are finally starting to come into fruition. Fruition? I don't know, whatever, fruition. I don't know how to say that word, but things are finally coming together, and I couldn't be happier and more thankful for that. So let's get into the background with me now. Being in Florida, tried to get into the construction industry as a warehouse manager. Wasn't really for me. Construction. Now learned a lot of good, valuable experience. A lot of good people. One of my biggest friends from that time, old fella named Gerald. Gerald, shout out, buddy. I doubt you'll ever hear this, but you were another amazing soul who I met and crossed paths with. And I still keep in contact to this day with Mr. Gerald. He'll call me out of the blue. Such an amazing person. He'll just call me out of the blue just to check up on me, and I saw him just wish my brother and I happy birthday on Facebook and a couple other things. Just a great soul there. So from that, it ended really badly at the construction job. And when I mean that, I just mean I didn't belong there, and I hated every day and every minute of it. And I went through a pretty depressive state just by some of the things that were going on there, and how the company was turning, and it was really bad. So I actually kind of hated every moment of it, and yeah. So, but from there, I left. I was going through a break with cannabis at this time, and you might actually could say that it's part of what kind of drove me crazy there at the job, because I had to stop it. Whatever, it's a different conversation. And let me not say cannabis. I'll say green energy. But from there, my father, I had my card prior to this job. I've had it for a long time, and father, he has his card as well. He was going to a place in Davenport, Florida. I don't really want to drop any names or anything like that. I don't really know how sensitive the podcasts are for that kind of stuff. But he was going to, but with the stories, best believe you'll know exactly the places I'm talking about. Long story short, we don't have to go into all that. Long story short, I got into the green industry. Okay, I've always had a passion for it, stemming back to my early eye disease days in New York, my college years, all that stuff. Really helped. A lot of nausea, a lot of relieving eye pressure, all that good stuff, right? So I've had a background, always had a passion for it. Now, I started out part-time, working my way up, building my career. And, this place, to this day, has over 100 locations. I started out at one of the worst places to start out, but also one of the places that a lot of people start out and either sink or swim. You can either find out there that you can either make it in this industry or you're gonna not. And by the way, my first episode is going to be something along the lines of corrupt green industry in Florida, something along those lines. So we're going to chat on this an awful lot in the next episode. But just know that I've spent about 5 or so years and still am technically in the green industry. So I'm out of work right now with some health stuff going on. A lesson that I learned years ago. Always make sure you guys sign up for the short-term and long-term disability through your employer. You never know when you might need it. When I worked for my last company, I had made the decision not to do that, right? Because it was a little bit more extra money out of the check. Well, I ended up getting into a car accident, a pretty bad one. And when I got my neck surgery, was out of work and didn't get paid for it, right? So, flash forward to now, make sure you guys always take advantage of if you're gonna, you never know when an emergency will strike, so take advantage of it. This is kind of where we're going to wrap it up with the bio, because I know I kind of jumped in it, and I rushed a lot in here because of the episodes being so short for me right now. But just know, I'm going to pick it back up with what I talked about in the next one, and we're just going to keep this flying. The topics are going to come. I needed to give a quick bio for myself, even if no one hears it, just so it's out there. So if anybody wants to go back later and check me out, this is it. All right. You guys stay blessed, stay tuned. And as my buddy George likes to say, keep your head on the swivel out there. Things are getting crazy. And take care, everyone.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No